Hello from Olden Goldens, and welcome back to our channel. Recently, we have received somber news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. We will also recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Leo Chaloukyan, the multiple Emmy and Oscar-winning sound designer, sound executive, and former chair of the Television Academy, died July 18th. The Academy announced Wednesday. He was 97. Active professionally into his 80s, Chaloukyan began his sound career at Ryder Sound Service in 1954, becoming an award-winning re-recording mixer and eventually the sole owner in 1976. He sold the company to the Soundelux Entertainment Group in 1997 and became the company's SVP. In 2000, Liberty Media Group acquired Soundelux, which became Ascent Media Group, Creative Sound Services, and later a division of Discovery Communications known as CSS Studios LLC. Chaloukyan continued as the company's VP Business Development, representing its divisions for features and TV, and retiring shortly after the company's 2014 spin-off to become Todd Soundelux. During his 60-year career in sound, Chaloukyan and his staff at Ryder Sound won 4 national Emmys and 2 regional Emmys. He also was honored with the Sid Cassett Founders Award in 2004 for his years of service to the Academy. During his early tenure at Ryder, the company worked on sound for National Geographic specials. David Wolper Productions documentaries and such classic TV shows as Lassie, Death Valley Days, Sea Hunt, Maverick, Route 66, Gunsmoke, and Jacques Cousteau specials. It also handled recording, re-recording, and mixing for movies including Steve McQueen's Bullitt and releases from American International Pictures. Chaloukyan personally oversaw sound design for The Graduate, and with his staff of audio engineers created the sound design for Easy Rider. The company also contributed to the recording, re-recording, and mixing for The Godfather, Chinatown, Saturday Night Fever, Love Story, and the first Star Trek movies, as well as work on Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tootsie, and The Killing Fields. The company won the 1986 Emmy for Best Achievement in Sound for the TV movie Cross of Fire. The same year, Ryder won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Sound for Platoon. Chaloukyan served on the Motion Picture Academy Board in the 1970s and, after terming out, began a long association with the Television Academy. He served multiple terms on its Board of Governors, representing the sound peer group and lending expertise in other leadership positions. He spearheaded the Academy's building committee from 1980 and 1991, overseeing the planning, groundbreaking, construction, and eventual move to the Academy's current headquarters in North Hollywood. Chaloukyan served 4 years as Television Academy President, a position now known as the Chair, from 1989 and 1993. Chaloukyan created peer group executive committees for the Academy and also was a long-standing director on the Television Academy's Foundation Board and booster of the Foundation's celebrated internship program, The Interviews. Appointed to the California Film Commission in 1988, Chaloukyan served under Govs. George Deukmejian and Pete Wilson. Chaloukyan is survived by daughter Kimmy Chaloukyan Black and son Dale Chaloukyan, who followed in his father's footsteps in sound editing, and several grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He was preceded in death by his wife Virginia in 2020. Memorial services will be private. In lieu of flowers, the family requests donations be made to the Television Academy Foundation and its programs in Chaloukyan's memory. John Mayall, the newly minted Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, whose group the Blues Breakers helped nurture many British music legends, including Eric Clapton, Mick Taylor, and several future members of Fleetwood Mac, died Monday in California. He was 90. His family released a statement on social media confirming the news, but gave few details other than citing health issues. It is with heavy hearts that we bear the news that John Mayall passed away peacefully in his California home yesterday, July 22, 2024, surrounded by his loving family. The Instagram post reads, Health issues that forced John to end his epic touring career have finally led to peace, for one of this world's greatest road warriors, Slowhand, left the group in 1966 and was replaced by Green, who left in 1967 to found the first edition of Fleetwood Mac with Bluesbreakers drummer Fleetwood and bassist McVie. Green was replaced by Taylor, who split in 1969 to join the Rolling Stones after Brian Jones' death. Mayall and the band found intermittent success in the United States, charting nearly 20 albums from 1968 and 1975. Among the biggest was The Turning Point, a live disc that went gold and peaked at number 31. The group's biggest stateside chart success was 1970's USA Union, which featured recent Canned Heat departees Larry Taylor and Harvey Mandel, and reached number 22. Born on November 29, 1933, in Macclesfield, Cheshire, Mayall moved to London in 1963, at the behest of his friend Alexis Corner, to pursue a music career after a stint in the British military. He formed the Bluesbreakers late that year with McVie, Peter Ward and others, and began gigging around town. Roster changes were numerous. Bruce joined the band for a spell in 1965, but left to join Manfred Mann and later would team with Clapton and drummer Ginger Baker and Cream, which saw massive success on both sides of the Atlantic. Dunbar played in the Bluesbreakers in 1966 and 1967 and played on some of their subsequent albums before going to drum for Frank Zappa, David Bowie and later Journey and Jefferson Starship. Mayall relocated to Los Angeles in 1969 and continued to front bands. He has released dozens of albums and scored 2 Grammy nominations nearly 30 years apart. Wake Up Call was up for Best Contemporary Blues Album in 1993, and his final disc, The Sun Is Shining Down, earned a nom for Best Traditional Blues Album in 2020-22. Along the way, Mayall has worked with the likes of Joe Walsh, Steven Van Zandt, Alex Lifeson, Billy Gibbons, Otis Rush, Billy Preston, Marcus King and Walter Trout. He was named an Officer of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II in 2005, inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in 2016, and elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a musical influence this year, alongside Corner and Big Mama Thornton. He continued to record and tour until about 2 years ago. Mayall is survived by his children Gaz, Jason, Red, Ben, Zach and Samson, 7 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. Don Buchwald, who founded his eponymous Hollywood talent agency Don Buchwald Associates in 1977 and counted Howard Stern among his many clients, died Monday of natural causes. He was 88. Buchwald passed away peacefully surrounded by his family, the company said in a statement Tuesday. He got the nickname Superagent from Stern and is mentioned often but rarely heard on SiriusXM's The Howard Stern Show. "I'm not a particularly boastful person," he told the New York Times in a 2018 interview. Buchwald founded Don Buchwald Associates in New York City with an original team of 5 agents and eventually opened a Los Angeles office in 1992. The company since has rebranded as Buchwald and currently has 130 employees spanning film, TV, theater, comedy, literary, commercials, social media, sports, animation, radio, gaming, voiceover, digital branded lifestyles, and more. The privately held agency is headquartered in its own building on East 44th Street between Madison and 5th Avenues in Midtown Manhattan, with the Los Angeles HQ on Wilshire Boulevard in the Miracle Mile. The Buchwald client list has included Kathleen Turner, Ralph Macchio, and Ali McGraw, and among its recent signees are Digimon Hounsou, Chris Parnell, Adam Goldberg, Reno Wilson, and Billy Ray Cyrus. Buchwald grew up in Brooklyn and started at Brooklyn College when he was 16, aspiring to be an actor. He left school to join the Army in 1954 and was stationed in Korea after the armistice was signed. Buchwald later returned to Brooklyn College and earned a degree in 1959. The school's George Gershwin Theater later was renamed Don Buchwald Theater. "When I began making gifts to the theater department, it was suggested that the reconstructed space of the Gershwin should have a new name," Buchwald said in an interview with Brooklyn College magazine last year. "I was taken aback to replace the George Gershwin with the Don Buchwald. Gershwin will never be forgotten. I'll go the way of a mere mortal." During the early 1960s, he worked as an actor and business manager in regional theater, where he discovered a talent for negotiation He soon began working as an agent for talent he met. One Brooklyn college actor pal, who had seen me perform, thought I was smart enough to stay away from the stage and to use my enriched family brain cells and look at the business side of the entertainment community, he told BC Magazine. I took a business management course and began managing the activities of summer stock playhouses and more. Buchwald also worked as a travel agent, working with colleagues who aspired to work in radio or voice acting. He began repping them too, and by the 1980s, Buchwald had built a rep as one of the top agents for local news and radio talent. Enter Howard Stern. In the mid-2000s, the shock jock, self-professed king of all media, had been doing his successful syndication radio show for nearly 20 years and had expanded into film and TV, but he wanted more. Buchwald helped to negotiate Stern's earth-shaking $500 million, five-year deal with Sirius Satellite Radio, which was on a spending spree as it looked to draw big-name talent and content to shut out rival XM satellite radio. Buchwald is survived by his wife of 59 years, Maggie, daughters Julia and Laura, a novelist, grandchildren Sebastian and Scarlett Gatta, and son-in-law Brian Smith. Mark Carnevale, a former PGA Tour Rookie of the Year who was a lead golf announcer for Sirius XM satellite radio for the past 2 decades, died Monday. He was 64. The PGA Tour announced his death but did not provide details. His humor, knowledge, and enthusiasm for the game and life will be greatly missed, the tour wrote on X. Born on May 21, 1960, in Annapolis, Carnevale turned pro in 1983. He scored a win at the 1992 Chattanooga Classic and went on to be named PGA Tour Rookie of the Year that season. It would be his lone victory on the marquee tour, but we won a handful of tournaments on lower-tier tours. He played in a few senior tour events after turning 50 in 2010, and later was named tournament director of the Nationwide Tour's Virginia Beach Open. Since 2005, Carnevale had been among the lead announcers for Sirius XM's PGA Tour Radio. He called the Scottish Open for the channel last weekend and was slated to work this week's 3M Open in at the TPC Twin Cities course in suburban Minneapolis. No information on survivors or a memorial service was immediately available. PGA Tour Radio posted an audio remembrance of Carnevale today, with one colleague saying nobody was better at just filling in those little holes and filling them in without having to say too much, with an economy of words, like Carney. Another added, I would contend that nobody has followed Tiger Woods on more holes in the last 20 years than Mark Carnevale. He was there doing the job pretty much every step of the way. Listen to it here. Breaking news. Sylvester Stallone, renowned for his roles in action-packed franchises like Rocky and Rambo, has faced significant physical challenges following stunts performed during the filming of The Expendables in 2010. During the Season 2 premiere of The Family Stallone on Paramount, the acclaimed actor revealed the extensive injuries he sustained, which have necessitated multiple surgeries over the past 14 years. In a poignant revelation, Stallone shared that a fight scene with co-star Steve Austin led to severe back injuries, including dislocated shoulders and a fractured neck, after being slammed into a stone wall. I did stupid stuff, Stallone admitted, reflecting on his decision to perform his own stunts while directing the film.